Hello. This is Heretic Owl Tarot. I'm Liz. Let's get into your reading. I I need to channel my energy into something, so I'm going to channel it into you guys. Lucky you. This is a reading for Aquarius. Happy birthday, Aquarius. Even I know it just started, but yeah, happy birthday. Sorry, I don't know. All of a sudden, I'm like having to clear my throat a bunch. That's annoying. I'll try to not do that very often, but of course, as with every YouTube channel, right? I would love it if you subscribed to my channel. If you haven't done so already, like the video, comment, it all helps. It all helps. And it is like an energy exchange, right? So anyway, either way, I'm glad that you're here. Thank you so much. And this is a 3-card spread. So the first card is the current energy, the energy that's surrounding you. I almost just laughed about that. So that's interesting. Sorry. The second card is the energy that's leaving or that's no longer serving you. I don't take the jumpers for this spread, FYI. And the third card is the energy that's coming in or that will be available to you. And then we'll clarify each one of those cards with an additional card. All right, for Aquarius. Okay. Current energy. We have the Champion of Wands or the King of Wands. Love that. No. Champion, I think, is the Knight of Wands. Oh my gosh, dogs are going crazy. We have the 3 of Wands in the position of what's leaving. We have the 5 of Pentacles for what's coming in. And then to clarify, we have the Sun card. We have the Elder of Swords, who is the King of Swords. And then we have the 6 of Wands with the 5 of Pentacles. Interesting. But let me just make sure. Champion of Wands. Yeah, it's the Knight of Wands. Sorry. I got a little ahead of myself there. First of all, what is so interesting is that we have a horse and a unicorn. Like, just right off the bat, it feels like becoming your true self, right? I mean, I feel like, Aquarius is unique, right? I mean, like, innovative, and they're not going to be the ones that are following what everybody else is doing or how everybody else is doing it. Right. And I wonder too, if you've noticed any type of like plutonic energy in Aquarius yet. Like if you just feel that literally at some point, over the next 20 years, right? 'Cause I mean, Pluto is a slower moving planet. So, it's not necessarily something that's going to happen overnight. But if you just, it's like something in your being is telling you that the mask, the hat that you've been wearing, the identity that you've been living or been expressing, there is transformation like that will be happening with that. And it'll be coming from a place of, I mean, truly living in your own truth. Like really realizing how important that is to you. And almost like not even wanting to waste any more time on like maintaining the mask is how it's coming through. Because masks do have to be maintained, right? Like it takes work to be, it takes so much work to be somebody that you're not, like, so it really does feel like, again, even if you, and this is current energy, so, it's not something that's necessarily going to happen overnight. there is like this exploration thing, to figure out even what that is. Like, not even, not even that you don't know, but like, how is it going to like calibrate into your being? Right? Like, how are you going to go about taking the mask off and showing your true self, like living authentically with yourself? It almost kind of feels like with the champion ones, a snake that's like wrapping around it. Doesn't it feel like a horseshoe anyway? Like, it also originally, before I like looked at it again, it felt like one of those victory wreaths that horses get like at the end of a race. Like it felt like that. And it's interesting that over here we have the Six of Wands, which is, victory. There is kind of a wreath going around this pig that won. Yeah, I mean, they have a ribbon here. And also, even like the whole horseshoe thing. First of all, I believe that it's a sign of luck, right? Let me Google. Interesting. It like this says, I mean, I don't want to spend like a ton of time reading about this, but it says if the horseshoe is hung over a doorway with the ends up, so like in the opposite position of this, it will catch good luck. Hung over a door with ends down, it will let the good luck spill over the door and stop evil from entering. Isn't that interesting? It's almost like a protection thing. But I don't know. I mean, maybe at some point you'll see a horseshoe and it'll just randomly catch your eye. And, and it's just like one of those signs that you're heading in the right direction, that things are changing, that you are protected. And also even the snake thing, right? Like, anytime I see a snake, I always think of them shedding their skin. And why do they do that? They do that to grow. I mean, literally outgrowing their skin, right? But also, I also believe that they shed skin to like repair injuries, replace scales, right? Like, it like is a form of like reinvention is coming through. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting. There is this big energy about shedding a mask, truly expressing yourself, being authentic to yourself. And then we have the Three of Wands and the King of Swords in the position of what's leaving. This to me feels like, like if you've been really putting a lot of thought into what you want to do, how you would even want to do it, that's what's leaving. Like the, the air energy, right? Like stepping outside of the cerebral, stepping outside of like the mind palace is coming to mind too, right? Because like, when I think mind palace, first of all, I mean, right. I mean, it holds everything that you've ever experienced, learned, understood, whatever. But it's also, just that place where you go to play in your head, right? Like you kind of have this image or this idea really of what it is that you do want to create and that you do want to, again, like, put energy into. But what it's going to take is this authenticity. And maybe too, part of the reason why there hasn't been much action and just more like cerebral, more, just thought surrounding it is because you really can't create the thing that you want to, that you have in your head. You can't create the vision until you take the mask off. Until you do accept yourself radically, fully, unapologetically. I feel like this is a really good fucking idea too. Like with the king, I mean, truly, like there's really nothing else to like consider, or like I keep kind of getting this image of like puzzle pieces. The tools are available, but really, I mean, what it is going to take is almost like you getting out of your own head. That's like trying to make a Taurus move before they're ready to, but also I know I'm not telling you something that you don't already know. Fucking, I know that. It's just, this is literally just confirmation, because there's no doubt that this is already swirling around. There's no doubt that in your head, you're like, you know what? I'm kind of just like circling a drain here. Like I'm just, I'm circling around the same idea. And it's almost like there cannot be any other, like expansion or pieces created to that puzzle until you start taking action towards it. Because only then will like those other puzzle pieces show up, or you'll create them. Right? Like as of right now, you have this really good idea. You have this really good fucking plan. You have this, this image, but without the action, dude, like it will not actualize. It will not materialize into form without it coming out of your head and being created in the 3D, like in, the world where we all live. We have the 5 of Pentacles and the 6 of Wands. This feels like breaking a mold. That's how it's coming through, because there's this vase here that's broken. And again, even, like I was talking about, before with Aquarius being, they're not, you can't be in a mold. And maybe that's the problem that's been around too. Like everybody is aware of the existence of horses, right? Like that's the mold. But in actuality, you're a fucking unicorn. So this, the 5 of Pentacles feels like literally breaking the mold, because too, there is no going back. 5s are also, they're transitionary energies. They're nothing to pitch a tent and get stuck in. So whatever the 5 of Pentacles is to you, whether, there could be some form of material loss, but also, Pentacles have to do with the 3D, where we are, right? So I was saying over here that thing that you have been envisioning cannot become a reality without action. It cannot become material without action, without actually building something, without actually putting those puzzle pieces together in, right? Like in the real world, like where we are right now. So again, right? I mean, this feels like breaking the mold. Truly separating yourself from something. That could be, a routine that you've been in. That could be, where you physically spend your time. That could be work. It could, where you live. I mean, I'm thinking like all things Pentacles. And what's beautiful is that with the 6 of Wands, like there is success here. Though, not to, and we go from the 5 to the 6, even though, it's not the same suit. There's a lot of Wands energy out here too. A lot of fire energy out here. So the energy is definitely available here for you. And so, there is some sort of recognition that either your own sense of victory and success, like, because it doesn't necessarily have to come from other people, but just, taking pride in yourself. And honestly, I want to read what this Six of Wands says from the book. You've got a reason to be proud. And if success hasn't shown up yet, it's just around the corner. This gives you permission to shout your success from the rooftops. Tell the people you love that you want to celebrate how far you've come and how hard you've worked to get here. You're not yet at the finish line, but right now you deserve to party. I love that. And actually, what was coming to mind as I was reading that, so I'm glad that I did, is that, if there has been something that hasn't been, like if you've been looking for a job, right? Or, like if you have your own business and it's just been slow, it's been sluggish, it's, you're kind of feeling the pressure of it a little bit. It's almost like dedicating yourself to yourself, right? Like this whole becoming authentic, radical acceptance, putting a plan, into motion or creating a vision, breaking the mold, everything that we've talked about, right? Like once you start making those decisions, once you start taking actions that are authentic to you, right? Like it's like you're creating your own template. You're not, doing things the way that other people have done them, just because maybe they've experienced success out of them. But for whatever reason, maybe you haven't been as successful as you had hoped. Through this, transition, becoming authentic, right? That's where you start generating success. That's where, people just find you. Jobs, opportunities just show up for you. If you're, hoping to be promoted, you will be. And that's truly because, like, you started literally being yourself. Not being some version, that you thought people wanted you to be, or some, toned down, obedient, whatever the fuck, like something that you're just like, this isn't even, it doesn't feel good. This isn't who I am. This isn't right. Like as soon as you stop all that, do it now. As soon as you stop all that, the success comes, the victory comes. Beautiful. Beautiful. I'm so grateful that you allowed me to pull some cards for you. And if you made it this far, thank you. And subscribe to my channel. Okay, bye.